What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, along with the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including CM Punk hates AEW, sad details emerge on Bray Wyatt's final hours, AEW giving wrestlers time off for Bray's memorial service, Jerry Lawler returns at Raw, Seth's sweet tribute to Bray Wyatt, another AEW star working in WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, The Miz roasts LA Knight. The Miz doesn't win many, well, more like any matches, but last night he put on a masterclass of how to mock an opponent by impersonating them perfectly. The A-lister looked and sounded like LA Knight, making the case that Knight is a one-note character. The only problem with this promo is that The Miz may have done too good of a job exposing Knight's act. Number 2, Shinsuke's sinister side. Another outstanding heel promo by Shinsuke Nakamura, who took the standard "I must break you" promo patented by Ivan Drago in Rocky IV and took it to new levels, warning Rollins that he was going to target his broken back. But that was just a start, as Shinsuke said Becky Lynch would know that it was him that was responsible for having her to help Seth get out of bed, and that he would be the reason Seth couldn't walk his daughter down the aisle. This cold-blooded promo instantly transformed Shinsuke into public enemy number 1. Number 3, Seth's fiery response. Rollins' response to Shinsuke's threats was perfect, as he reminded Nakamura he won his world title with a broken back and that no one dictates his future but him. It was refreshing to see Rollins cut a serious promo and remind fans that he is a badass. It was also equally refreshing to see Nakamura ambush the world champion during the promo, casting doubt on whether Rollins can withstand a foe who is committed to not only winning his title, but crippling him. Number 4, Drew heel turn should be hot. What looks like an apparent Drew McIntyre heel turn should be hot if last night's segment on Raw involving the Scottish Warrior is any hint of the future. McIntyre snapped after the Viking Raiders threw Kofi Kingston into him, and Riddle, the two were watching the match at ringside, throwing a chair at the Raiders but apparently missing and hitting Xavier Woods. And we use the word apparently very loosely because it was more akin to a reckless act. Did fans see the return of the Scottish psychopath, and if so, who will be his first target? Number 5, Becky honors Bray. There was plenty of tributes to Bray last night, including a Bray armband shown by Becky Lynch and a Wyndham armband worn by Seth Rollins. Becky Lynch looked incredibly upset after a match with Zoe Stark, and she actually commented after the match and shared a very touching story. When she moved up to the main roster, she was actually scheduled to have a tables match, but she had no idea how to set up a table. Bray, being the kind soul that he is, took her under his arm to the ring and showed her how to do it. She mentioned that table spot was one for Wyndham. And lastly, the Falls Count Anywhere match. Last night's Falls Count Anywhere match was just what fans needed. First, it gave the main event to someone besides the Judgment Day, while also providing a main event worthy match. Second, it intensified the feud between Trish and Becky, whilst also setting the stage for Zoe and Trish to part ways, as it's obvious Stratus isn't using her as cannon fodder. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, burying Bronson. Bronson Reed has gone from a monster to an afterthought. The man who it took several superstars to eliminate at the Elimination Chamber is now counting the lights on a regular basis. If Reed doesn't get back on track soon, he'll likely be making his way to main event. Number 2, the same old same old. Last night's Raw had its moments, but unfortunately 2 of them were far too familiar. Further evidence that Vince is increasing influence over creative. While the Judgment Day is a white-hot faction, why do fans need to see them wrestle Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn every single week? It's a played-out situation, and we hope that this Saturday's match is indeed their last match against each other. Likewise with Imperium vs Alpha Academy, which has quickly become boring thanks to the same situation happening every week of a singles match turning into a beatdown as Otis and or Chad Gable are attacked after wrestling. And not many matches last night. Raw didn't have many matches last night, quite the disappointment when you look at how many wrestlers are stuck on the sidelines during a 3-hour show. Raw wasn't a mess, but it was a departure from the normally well-structured show that fans have come to expect. There was nothing ugly, as it was a decent build-up for Payback. Nonetheless, last night's show was mid, and with Monday Night Football just 2 weeks away, they need to get back on track if they want to keep some of the momentum it's built up over the last 6 months. What do you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Anarchy in AEW. At top of the news are the latest rumblings concerning CM Punk and AEW following the alleged altercation between Punk and Jack Perry at All In. Rumor has it that both have been suspended, but that's just one of several stories that suggest Punk and AEW may be about to part ways. By now, you've likely heard the story about the backstage altercation between Punk and Jack Perry, and while details remain sketchy, AEW President Tony Khan acknowledged that something did happen. Now it appears that Khan has acted, as Sports Illustrated is now reporting. I've heard a lot more traction to the idea that Jack Perry and CM Punk were suspended for their physical incident at AEW All In. As Brian Alvarez has noted, Sports Illustrated have confirmed this. There's no word on how long both stars will have time off, but our next story suggests that Punk may not want to come back, as is CM Punk fed up with AEW? Now let's look at the latest from Fightful Select concerning what happened after the alleged incident. People close to Punk say that there wasn't much communication between he and Tony Khan after the incident. Punk has went as far as telling people he hates this place as a result of the constant issues in AEW. Many people within the company say he's plenty responsible for those issues. As reported yesterday, AEW asked Perry and later Punk to leave Wembley Stadium, as Fightful added, neither CM Punk or Jack Perry were at AEW All In after party, and Punk headed out of London Monday afternoon. As expected, more accounts are emerging on what happened between Perry and Punk, with Fightful reporting, one source said with 100% certainty, Jack Perry didn't throw the first punch. Punk shoved him and put him in a choke. Depending on who you speak to, accounts have said that Punk shoved, pie-faced, or threw a punch. Rumor has it that Samoa Joe attempted to alleviate the situation, but does CM Punk hate AEW? Next up, CM Punk left with no travel arrangements. Punk may have also been aggravated over a reported breakdown concerning his travel plans for All In. In an exclusive report, House of Wrestling revealed, before things backstage became chaotic for Punk, it sounds as if his travel also had some hiccups. House of Wrestling has learned that when Punk landed at Heathrow Airport for AEW All In London on Saturday morning, no one from AEW was there to greet him. There was also no car service to take him to his hotel, and when he texted a number he was given by AEW for the driver, it bounced back as being an invalid number. The report also revealed how Punk managed to make the show. After waiting for a while, Punk chose to buy a train ticket to find his own way to the hotel. We are told that the tube was fairly busy at the time. Punk got lost, and a few fans who noticed the Second City Saint helped him figure out where he was going. It appeared that Punk got into London so close to the actual event because he had taping commitments in Atlanta on Wednesday and wanted to spend Thursday with his wife and dog Larry before heading out on Friday and landing on Saturday morning. What do you guys think of this bungle by AEW? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, John Cena wrestling several dates for WWE. It looks like Cena is taking advantage of his time off from Hollywood to make some appearances for WWE, including wrestling a match at WWE's upcoming India Superstar Spectacle on 8th September. WWE released a statement saying Cena will also appear on Friday Night SmackDown for 7 consecutive weeks beginning Friday, September 15th at Ball Arena in Denver through the end of October. The announcement also added that John Cena will be making more Make-A-Wish appearances during this tour. Next up, sad details emerge on Bray Wyatt's final hours. As the wrestling world mourns the passing of Bray Wyatt, more information has been released concerning his final hours. TMZ Sports has reported that Bray lay down for a nap, and Bray's girlfriend became concerned when she heard his alarm going off about an hour later without stopping. Bray was not breathing, and according to the report, he began turning blue. In addition, in fact, just a week before he died, Windham was hospitalized for a heart issue. He had a follow-up appointment with doctors the morning he died and was advised to continue to wear an external heart defibrillator, a device designed to treat people experiencing sudden cardiac arrest. The article also noted, though it's not known if the device would have saved his life, investigators determined Windham was not wearing the defibrillator at the time of his death. They later located it inside his vehicle, parked in the driveway. Next up, AEW giving wrestlers time off for Bray's memorial service. As Sean Ross Sapp tweeted, there may be some absences on AEW Dynamite this week or next week, whenever they are. Tony Khan offered the show off to anyone who wanted to attend Bray Wyatt's services. The wrestling world has honoured Bray Wyatt's life and legacy with wrestling fans on TV, but it will soon be time for his many friends and family to come together to mourn a huge passing. Next up, Seth's sweet tribute to Bray Wyatt. A fan saw some heartfelt homages to Bray Wyatt, including Seth Rollins starting his promo off by saying "Yowie Wowie." That wasn't all, as Seth was now sporting a new side plate to his World Championship belt, one that has the Fiend's face on it. What an incredibly classy tribute. Next up, Jerry Lawler returns to Raw. A fantastic news for Jerry Lawler fans, as Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens brought Memphis' favourite son out to make an appearance in the city where he created so many great memories for wrestling fans. Lawler looked good and waved to his many fans, a good sign in light of a stroke he suffered earlier this year. We send our well wishes to the King for a full recovery. And finally, another AEW star working in WWE. Brian Pillman Jr. is now officially in the WWE, as at least according to PW Insider, who is reporting. PW Insider reports Brian Pillman Jr. officially started with WWE NXT this week after taking part in a tryout last month in Orlando, Florida. How do you think Pillman will fare in WWE? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.